Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How's everyone doing tonight?
Let's get this party started right.
Let's get it started. We are just a few hours away from Monday productivity. So I hope you guys have rested. Hope you are getting resting and winding down right now, ready to take this week by force. You look like you're about to say something, Antonio. What are you about to say?
None. I hope y'all ready for Monday. I'm taking off tomorrow.
You're taking off tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow's an off day for me.
So according to my calendar, you got at least 2 meetings with your off day.
I mean, I do them 2 meetings, but I ain't doing nothing else.
Okay.
It's a house day.
Productivity.
Yes.
Because you missed it on the weekend. That means we're not going to get any help. That means I'm going to be tired still.
You get a little relaxation in there?
No, because you're going to have all these brilliant ideas. And
I'm not.
This is going to overwhelm
me. I promise you I'm not, man. I promise you.
It's fine if you do. I understand. It's all right. All right. Recap for today. Tonight's wind down is sponsored by cranberry apple juice, okay? Cranberry apple juice cocktail. I am not drinking wine today, you guys. I know it says wine down, so I got something close to it. Tastes a little bit like wine, a little dry, with some flavor, some sweetness. But I honestly don't want to drink wine every night. So like I told you before, some days it may be sponsored by Welchers, and some days it may not be. Y'all laughing at me. It's all good. It's all good. Tonight is sponsored by Cream Apple. Nature's best, nature's nectar. And we're gonna pour it up because in total transparency, Antonio and I don't even drink. So to drink wine every night is a lot.
Oh boy.
So tonight we're gonna sip this cran apple. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, the best. Absolutely the best. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do a recap of our day.
Recap of the day. We went to church. It's always good going to church.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really good. So went to church. We go to New Rising Star. So that was really good. After church, we had lunch. Yeah, lunch. Went to Hattie B's for lunch today. After that, we came home. I cooked dinner. Played with the kids a little. Watched some clothes.
Watch some football.
Antonio watched football. He did absolutely nothing.
I mainly did at Hattie B's, but
he watched football. Did absolutely nothing. But
I
enjoyed himself
myself,
and watched football. No issues. Yeah, no issues. And at 4:00, we left. Got ready for our coaching class because today started class 1.
Started day 1,
of
baby.
Ex-Flipper Academy. So that was really good. Went there.
That's what we talked about in day 1. Overview.
Okay. So day 1, we talked about having a winning mindset. We gave everyone our 10 mindset rules. We talked about
class breakdowns,
how to identify houses that are in different classes and know based on the home ownership what class it falls under, from an A class all the way to a D class. We talked about
comps,
how to pick comps, how to identify comps, how to make an offer, and how to do your calculations so that you are making offers sight unseen so that you can make more offers to have more possibilities. We talk about anything else?
Overall, that was it. I mean, I ain't trying to think of nothing else, but that was a lot.
Yeah.
So we talked about leverage, partnerships, and things of that nature, how to get more out of what you have by leveraging other people's time and money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was everything in the class today.
We've got some surveys back. People love the first class.
I didn't even look at the surveys. You looked at them
I
already?
peeped out. After every class, you do a survey to kind of see what they feel. So people loved it. At least 2 people so far I've seen.
Okay. Hey, LaShawn. I haven't looked at it. And I just didn't look at it because I haven't had time, honestly.
Most of the time after our Sunday classes, Ashley loves Mexican, so she's gonna drag me
I
to the
just want
Mexican
a date. I
restaurant,
just want
and
a
we're gonna have
date.
our date night, and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna enjoy each other for
Yeah.
that time.
When we got home, 4 of the 5 kids were still awake, which means the one kid that was asleep will probably be up at 2 a.m.
And I'm gonna be asleep when he get up.
No, that's
When
Ashley.
she
She's
get
the
up.
only one that's asleep. And that means mommy's going to be up. Yeah.
All right.
So tonight we are going to talk about real estate, but most importantly, we are going to talk about wholesaling. What does wholesaling look like? What did it look like for us when we did a partnership to do wholesaling? Um, Wholesaling, we talked about it last week. We broke down the different things that you can do when it comes to making money in real estate, with wholesaling being one of them. So just
the 3 were
wholesale,
basic was wholesaling,
buy and
buy and
hold,
hold,
and
fix
fix
and
and
flip.
flip.
So we're gonna kind of dig into the wholesaling part.
Yes.
We are not big wholesalers, but we understand how to wholesale. We learned how to wholesale. We had a wholesaling business at one point in time. Well, I would say a partnership at one point in time. So
Absolutely.
we understand it through and through. So if you got any questions about wholesaling, we can answer them.
Although we didn't wholesale, we actually taught our first mentee how to wholesale, because we would buy so many properties from wholesalers, and we would market for properties, but we would buy all of the properties that we ended up getting under contract, which is why we didn't wholesale. And in total honesty, we became too greedy to wholesale, where we wanted every deal because we were fresh starting out. But hindsight being 2020, I probably would have sold some of those deals
and
now
made some quick
and
money.
made some quick money versus long term money. But
We was all out long term at that point in time.
absolutely. So it's all good. Uh Anybody got any questions before we get started? Questions about our day, questions about anything.
Wholesaling,
Real estate
anything
as
that
a
you want to
whole.
make sure that we touch on when we talk about wholesaling. Anything that you've had questions or thoughts about.
All right. So step one when it comes to wholesaling is getting a list, making sure that you get a list, and that list should tell you more about making sure I was trying to share it real quick. You get a list, but it's not moving fast enough. I wasn't trying to open it. And that list should have bam. Let's just close that. I wasn't trying to do that.
What the world?
I was trying to share it on my page. Apparently.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
So making sure you get a list, and that list can come from several different places. One place is the list can come from List Source. You can get it from your county office, the tax assessor's office, probate, depending on what you want your list to be, what you're focusing on. Most people focus on out of state investors, so that they can get them to sell their property, and it's a lot easier. Some people do
absentee owners.
Some people do.
What's the absentee owner? You just can't
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Absentee owner is a person that doesn't live in the house. So you got owner occupants. That's where the person is living in the house, and absentee meaning that they live somewhere else, but they own that house.
Some people do probate lists, which is when someone passes away and they haven't sold the property. They're looking. We don't even know if they're looking until they reach out to them. But it's from someone who recently passed away, and they may have an estate, and it goes through that probate process so that they can sell some of the things that are attached to the estate. What's up, JC? Another list is pre-foreclosures before the house gets foreclosed on and it's in the process of pre-foreclosure. Then there's a list for that so that you can stop them from going into foreclosure. You got bankruptcy lists, people who have been in bankruptcy. So there's like a million different types of lists.
That you can pull. A place that you can go pull these lists is a list source. That is kind of one of the top places to pull a list. If you want some other alternatives, you can just put in list source alternatives, and you'll get a whole other set of lists.
Good thing.
So if you want to pull a list sources where a lot of people go. We have a CRM called RealFlow. Within RealFlow, it allows us to pull lists. Some people have Prop Screen. I know Prop Screen allows people to pull a list. Mm-hmm. So you can pull the list from a lot of different places. All right. And when you pull the list, most of the time it's going to give you the address and the homeowner name. It doesn't necessarily give you the
contact info, the new mailing address if it changed.
It don't give you email addresses and stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna go through what we had set up and keep in mind when we talk wholesaling, when we talk anything, we talk from a business standpoint. We set this wholesaling up to be a business.
Yes, there's nothing we don't do that doesn't incorporate systems and people in place so that it runs with or without us, preferably without us. But usually at the beginning, it's with us as we maneuver through the kinks.
All right, so
we got we got a list. We got the list from RealFlow. From that list, we had to sort it based on what we were looking for. Different companies give you different things that you can pull from a list, so you can get like new people who are newly married.
We already talked about that.
I know, but that was just a different thing that I didn't think of. Get out of here. So you can kind of sort what you want your list to look like, and then you can skip trace your list.
You gotta skip trace the list.
Yes, you can skip trace your list using Fiverr. You can skip trace your list using Upwork. Some CRMs will skip trace for a fraction. RealFlow, I know, does that.
That is a cost. Now, pulling the list is a cost. Depending on how many contacts you pull, that's a cost. Skip tracing the list is also a cost.
Yes. And then there's sites like Spokio where you can also skip trace and then to give you the information you need. So things that you get when you skip trace. You are getting the new address if they're having their mail go to a new address because they don't stay in that house. So you can get the address to mail them things to. You're going to get about 5 different possible phone numbers. Typically, the first 2 phone numbers are usually the best phone numbers. You're going to get, with some, you may get their Facebook account. You're going to get their possible email addresses. I feel like that's it.
For the most part, that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
When you skip trace.
So once you get those things, then you sort them, you pick them out, you make sure you move all the phone numbers into the phone number column that you want to.
You gotta sort the list
so that you can produce it. Basically.
So, and keep in mind, those are 2 separate things. Because when you're pulling a list, you're pulling a list of 1,000 or so people. So
sometimes like 15,000, depending on how
a lot of people. So understand that when you send it off to the skip tracer is going to send it back to you, but it's not going to be in a format to where you can use it on a dialer and what we use next was mass communication. So you have to get another person to actually
sort the list and make it functionable.
Yes. So to where if they give you 6 phone numbers, you got to make sure that the first 2 columns got all phone numbers. If they give you email addresses, you got to make sure that
the first column of email addresses has email addresses and not blank for the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th.
Yes.
So they give you a large range, but you want to make sure you condense it to a smaller version.
Yes.
So that you can upload it to, for example, mass communications where you have a ringless voicemail.
I want to make sure they understand though that You get the list, you skip trace the list, and you sort the list. You don't skip trace and sort the same person most of the time. Most of the time, you gotta wait to get the skip trace list back. Then you gotta wait to get the source list. So understand that those are basically your first 3 steps.
3 different roles.
All right. Now, what you do after that is a different combination of things. So I can tell you what we did with it. What we did was we took the list and we uploaded it to what's called mass communication. And what mass communication allowed us to do was
set up a ringless voicemail where we said something to the effect of, "Hey, this is Ashley. I'm really interested in looking to buy your house. If you are interested in selling, press 1, and we can get more information about you." Something real simple like that.
So let me back up a little bit. What's a ringless voicemail? A ringless voicemail will go to your voicemail without ringing your phone. So that's why it's called a ringless voicemail. So you'll just pop up and you got a voicemail, and you'll just pick it up, and from there, you hit the button to call back.
Now, I don't know how mass communication did it, but it would actually, even though it was called ringless voicemail, it would actually call you and you'll answer it, press 1, and then from there, it sends you to the next step.
Yeah, so I guess it got 2 sections. One of them is a ring, and then one of them, if you don't answer, it goes to your voicemail.
Yes, and then it becomes,
Yes.
So if you answered and you hit 1, what we did when they hit 1 was send them directly to a live person to answer and get their information. So basically, the live person we did was Pat Live, PATLIVE. And what Pat Live did is a call center out of Tallahassee, Florida, I believe is where Pat Live is. And they have a team that answers phones and
hold that thought. 2 things. The good thing about mass communication was they will scrub the list against the do not call list.
Yes.
To make sure that you are not calling people that's on that list and getting in trouble.
Oh, that's a good point.
Second thing is share.
Like, share.
Come on, man, you've been doing so good.
What are you talking about? I'm supposed to know you just...
Because you've been doing so good with that.
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about right now. What are you talking about?
If you feel like this will help you, somebody else, please share.
Well, you can't say it does 2 things and then expect me to know that that's what you're talking about.
I mean, I said share and pointed at you.
Really? All right, you guys. Can everyone on here share this? Tag someone that you think this will be really helpful for, so that they can learn also how to make money when it comes to wholesaling and change their life. All right.
Boom. So back to Pat Live.
All right. So Pat Live has live personnel that answers the calls based on the script that you provide them. So they're reading your script. They are from the United States. They're not outsourced overseas. They are in the United States, and they are answering and putting it into your CRM or whatever link you give them that goes into your CRM.
Hold up. Don't say that. What we did, we created a form / script for Pat Live, and Pat Live would implement the information into the form, and that form would generate to our CRM
as a contact
for us to get back with,
and would also create a follow-up for someone in our office to follow up. All right, so the script would say something like, "Hey, are you interested in selling your house?" They say, "Yeah." "What's your first and last name?" "Okay." "What's your email address?" "What's your phone number?" Just in case we get disconnected. "Awesome." "Where's your house located at?" "How many bed and bath?" When was the last time the roof was replaced? When the last time it was updated? Things of that nature to really give you a good idea of what needs to be done.
How much you're looking to sell your house
for. And from there, you can either make it where Pat Live does an offer from there if you teach them, but it's more so recommended that they grab the info and tell you if it's a hot, cold, or warm lead is what you want to know. So if they're really interested, they'll tell you it's a hot. And when you get that hot lead, you should immediately be getting on the phone to close that deal.
Yes.
Or to try to close. So after Pat Live was for everyone that answered or responded to the mass communications scrub, the mass communication breakdown. After that, from Pat Live, it goes to our CRM to follow up. But for the people we didn't contact, that's a whole nother list we pulled from the system.
So hold that thought.
Okay.
All right. So I will say, because we talk about our good and our bad, I would say our partnership didn't work because the CRM that we chose, it wasn't good for our partner. And it wasn't good for us because the CRM had to be built in a sense. And it didn't come already made with follow-ups and intake. Like it was a lot of tech stuff that had to be done. And neither one of us, the CRM that we was using,
it was our first time using it, so we didn't know all
the tricks and trades of it. And we wanted him to figure it out at the same time. He didn't have time to figure it out. We didn't have time to figure it out. So I would say that's why the partnership really didn't work in a nutshell, was because we got stuck at the CRM and we both was just like, ain't neither one of us got time to develop this CRM. Could we just got another CRM? Yes. But the CRM we chose, we knew it was good. We just didn't know it was going to take that much energy to tell it what to do.
For Ashley to build it out.
Yeah, Ashley didn't want to build it out. And Ashley was against the CRM at that time.
I was. Now I'm in love with it.
She did not want anything to do with that CRM.
Like most things.
So she would not buy into helping us do this.
Well, I was the only one building it, but it was more like I was being the secretary and they was just telling me what to do, and I just didn't appreciate that. I was an equal partner doing all the work.
So at that point, we did some things, but it just didn't go far.
For a few months.
Yeah.
So let's get back to it.
Okay.
So the CRM sets it up for follow-up. You follow it up, and then you can set for after follow-up 1, what does follow-up 2 look like, what does follow-up 3 look like, and so on. For the people who didn't hit Pat Live and didn't get contacted by Pat Live, then what you do is there's another list, and you will pull that list from mass communication because it shows who went to Pat Live and who didn't go. All right. Who pressed the number to go but hung up before it even transferred. It shows you all those lists. So you're going to take that information and you can input that into the Moby Dialer. So we input it to the Moby Dialer, and we had...
It's not Moby. It's Mojo, Ashley.
Oh, yeah. Moby was what I used at Regis.
Yes. It's the Mojo Dialer. Not Moby.
We use Moby at Regis. Mojo Dialer.
Mojo Dialer is what we use.
Same thing. It's a dialer system. But no, to Mojo Dialer, and we had virtual assistants from the Philippines. This is when we used a group virtual assistants where a team was managing them, and they basically made the calls, they did the follow-ups, they got how much the people were looking to sell their house for, they marked them if it was cold, warm, or hot, and sent that list to us every week, and we paid them via PayPal.
Yeah, so these VAs were not our VAs that we hired to be with us forever. They were just kind of by the job type VAs, and they was basically cold callers.
They were definitely cold callers.
They was cold callers, and we provided the list. We uploaded the list, and we could see all the recordings. We could see who answered. We could see everything. So, in our ideal world, how it was supposed to work was our partner was supposed to manage the leads. Hit the hot ones first, go on appointments, lock them up, and we'll split the profit.
We were really just supposed to be funding this business, but we end up doing more because of what I would say the wonderful CRM that we didn't understand how to work.
Yes. So in a nutshell, that's a wholesaler. If you want to set up a wholesaler business, you can go pay somebody a whole lot of money, but I just basically gave you the steps. We basically gave you the websites to use, how to set it up. Now, there's some little details behind it. But for the for the most part, that was it. Once you get that lead in, you go talk to that seller, lock the property up.
And then you market the property to potential buyers.
So this is how. Let's not take this for granted.
Okay.
All right. So this is how the whole process would work. Once you go meet the seller, you're going to agree to a price with the seller. So let's say the seller wants $90,000, and you can sell this property to a buy and hold investor or a flip investor. Let's say for 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So how it works is you get the property under contract for 90,000. Then you go call your end buyer, hedge funds, Denmarks, Denmarks again, and say, hey, I got a property under contract and I want $100,000 for it. Or I want 105,000. Because you talk to the Denmarks, we're gonna knock you down a little bit. Hey, I want 100,000 for. All right, we'll give you 100 for.
All right, deal.
So you can make it for 100,000 to us, 90,000 to the seller, and when we pay our 100,000, you're going to get the difference between the 90 and the 100. So you're going to make $10,000 for having the contract to that house. So in a nutshell, that's wholesaling.
All right. Any questions? Because I know we said a lot. So any questions? While you're typing in your questions, tonight's wind down session is sponsored by
Bro, you ain't gotta tell that again, bro.
Pineapple Juice Nature's Nectar. Because I am not drinking tonight.
You stupid ass.
No, I am not
You
drinking.
stupid.
It's good too. All right, give me some questions.
Was there any wholesalers on here? Anybody has bought from wholesalers? What's your experience with a wholesaler if you're an investor?
A lot of times, wholesaling is the entry point to getting into real estate. So, like we told you guys before, we didn't take this route when it came to wholesaling. We did the whole process completely backwards. We became buy and hold first, then we fix and flip, then we started to wholesale with it, with the combination of all three still going. Typically the process is you wholesale it, you fix and flip, and then you use that fix and flip money to invest in buy and holds. All right. Someone said, hey family, how are you guys? We're doing good. Well. We are doing well. How are you? Okay, someone put, what type of legal docs? So you're going to have a contract. It's going to be, all right, so check this out. You're going to have a contract. The contract that you have with the seller is going to be your A contract to your B contract, which is you, all right? So that's an A to B contract. It's saying, I, Ashley, agree to buy 123 Main Street from Nature's Nectar for the amount of $90,000. All right. And then you're going to use that same contract and you're going to do a B to C, because remember, I'm B. I, Ashley Denmark.
Hold up. You actually have two options at that point. Mm-hmm. Once you have the A to B contract, you have two options. Either you can do
a B to C contract,
or you can do
an assignment
contract. So that's a different contract. All right. So we'll go with the first option first.
Mm-hmm. Go. So I told you about the A to B part. The B to C is saying, I, Ashley Denmark, agree to sell Antonio Denmark, 123 Main Street for $100,000. And it's basically saying that I'm the owner of 123 Main Street. Even though I'm not the owner, what happens in that process is a double closing takes place, and on paper, I buy that house before I sell that house.
Yes. So Ashley will, a double closing is Ashley's the wholesaler.
Mm-hmm.
She's the middle person. She's B.
Mm-hmm.
A double closing means that
This is the original owner of the house. Nature's Nectar is making a contract for me to buy the house for 90,000. All right. I am gonna sell the house to Antonio for 100,000.
uh,
I just wanted to do the little.
you want to do
I
that.
did. Go ahead.
All right. So a double closing works like this. Ashley's going to actually buy the house. She's going to get what we call transactional funding. She's going to get transactional funding from the transactional funding people. They're going to send $90,000 to the closing attorney on Ashley's behalf. Ashley's not going to touch the money. The lawyers have the money.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is the end buyer, which is me in this situation, I'm C. I'm going to send my $100,000 in. All right. So once I send my $100,000 in, the lawyer's doing all this paperwork behind the scenes. On paper, Ashley buys it from A and she sells it to C. The benefit of this is C don't know how much B made on the deal. If you want to keep in people out of your business
And the beginning people
and the
because they don't
beginning
know how
people
much
out of
you
your
sold it
business, you do what we call a double close. That's going to cost you some extra money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're making a big spread, 10, 15, 20, $30,000, it's best to get transactional funding so that nobody knows what you're making. Everybody's just happy with their size because if an end buyer see you finna make $30,000, they're gonna try to renegotiate on the spot. If a seller sees you finna make $30,000, they finna renegotiate on the spot.
Absolutely. And sometimes lenders do not allow you to make that much. If the end buyer is using a hard money lender, they don't want you to make that much, and they're going to renegotiate the buyer's terms and make them have to bring more to the table.
All right. So get your questions about that. Let me tell you the other way,
Okay.
and
And
then
then
we'll
we'll
get the
answer that
questions. The
question.
other way that you
Okay.
can do it is what's on an assignment contract.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between an assignment contract is that there's still a
A
to
to
B
B
contract.
contract.
The only difference is the B to C contract is an assignment contract. And it's going to put on there, Ashley agrees to sell
123 Main Street. It's going to say Nectar agrees to sell 123 Main Street. The house is
No.
123 Main. To sell the contract
Thank you.
from A
Yes.
to C.
So the assignment is going to have exactly how much the assignment fee is. And what's going on is C is just stepping in the place of B.
And removing B out.
And removing B out. Everybody knows what's going on.
But 4 feet.
But it's a $10,000 fee. So C says, okay, I'm a step in your place and buy this property for $90,000.
I'll give you $10,000.
I give you $10,000 for finding the deal. That's kind of how it works. So those are two options. So did that explain what an assignment contract actually is? It is basically saying that the wholesaler, which is B, will step out of the way and let the end buyer, which is C, buy the house directly from the seller for a fee, which will be on the assignment contract. Now, I know some people, when they sign the assignment contract, they get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't wait to close it. If it's $1,000, $2,000, a lot of times the wholesaler just say, "Hey, give me my money now."
And you finish.
The deal. I ain't even worried about it. Mm-hmm. That y'all closing. Just give me my $1,000. Give me my $2,000. I'm gonna step out of the way, and you and the seller handle it.
Okay.
So now get your question. I know I seen that assignment contract. I wanted to make sure I answer that. I didn't see these.
All right. So, will we need to hire an attorney to create contracts for the wholesale process? You don't have to hire an attorney to do it. What I will say is there's already wholesale, there's purchase and sale agreements that are already out there. They're online. They're easy to grab. You just need to customize it your way. I will say it's good to let an attorney look over it just to make sure it's accurate for your state.
There you go.
So that's what I would say. But I don't think you don't have to hire it to create it from scratch, just to revise it and make it applicable for your state.
All right.
Great questions, though. All right. What else about wholesaling, you guys?
Love the questions too.
Yes. Typical wholesale fees used to be $5,000, but it has really went up over the past few years. I've seen I've seen someone make 90,000 from a wholesale, and I've seen someone make as little as $2,000.
I would say most wholesalers shoot for 10,000 these days.
A lot of them say if it's not $10,000, then it doesn't move them to even
It
do
don't
the deal.
even. And I'll say the second issue that we had with our partner was he only wanted to do 10,000 or above.
Meanwhile, we were like, well, if we're spending the money to keep the lights on and keep all the systems going, we need to do every deal that comes.
If it's $1,000, keep it going. But that was just a different philosophy. I mean, we still do deals today now. Don't get it twisted.
Yes,
that was just one thing that didn't work.
It was not a bad partnership.
Yeah, it wasn't
just
bad.
Adjusted.
Yes. So that was another thing to where partner wanted to do bigger deals, which we respected that. But at the same time, we needed to put some funds back into the system to keep the machine going.
Yes. Now, I can say when you set up wholesale as a business and as a system, that there are a lot of fees associated with it just to really get that pipeline going so that you have a lot of deals to choose from. So if you're doing one here or there, you can do some direct mail. You can do with direct mail to keep your pipelines rolling, but you can do some drive-bys and get a few properties.
Driving for dollars.
They're drive-bys.
You sound like you're in the game.
Driving for dollars. You can do driving for dollars and get you a few here and there. But if you really want to pipeline and to scale it as a business, then it does cost.
So one thing I will tell you about wholesaling is that wholesaling isn't long term. A lot of people make money in wholesaling, but I haven't seen many people create a business behind wholesaling. And when I say business, I mean they can step away from it and it still makes money.
Mm-hmm.
Most wholesalers got to stick in it. And honestly, most wholesalers go out of business.
Yes, because it's hard to keep that system going forever. So if they don't get out in time where they're doing the flip and then they start buying and holding, it can honestly do wear and tear to your business, to you financially, and to you physically, because it's a lot of leg work that goes with it.
A dry spout could take you out as a wholesaler, especially if you are doing it the right way and you spending money on marketing.
Mm-hmm.
A dry spell could take you out. So that's why if you do wholesaling, get in it, but always be looking to start owning some real estate, whether you're fixing or flipping or you buying and holding. Take that money and
invest it somewhere else.
Yes.
So that it can make some returns for you. Another thing we didn't talk about, but we also, what we did with the list was we didn't do it with that list, but we also ran campaigns on Facebook for We Buy Houses to get people who were looking to sell. We even retargeted some emails that we had to not retarget, but we target an audience from the emails that we had, uploaded them to try to find them on Facebook and to send ads directly to them so that they can see our advertising, they can see our logos and remember us from our calls, see our videos, to remember that,
to associate. Because you said it, but you kind of glossed over it.
Okay, what part?
Facebook will allow you to upload
an audience,
a email list to target them directly on Facebook. So if I have a list of emails, I can put those emails into an ad and only target those people that's on this email list.
Yes. So we would target them so that there's a thing when it comes to marketing that people need to see your logo, your brand at least 7 times before they want to do business with you. So those were a part of the 7 attempts to get them to want to do business with us. So they'll hear our business name, they will hear our voice from the voicemails, and they will see our face, see who we were, to really get them to recall and actually send in the inquiry to sell their houses.
And once we actually talked to them, we had all the responders already set up so that we could get email marketing going also. Yeah. So we
had a year out of autoresponders. So if we didn't do a deal with them, then we will follow up in a week to make sure they still didn't want to sell it. Then we'll follow up in 2 weeks. Then we'll do a 30-day campaign. And then we did a 45-day, and we did and it just kept going all the way to a year.
Mm-hmm. So we'll reach back out to them through email. Hey, we know you're interested in buying your house at such and such time.
Did you have a chance to sell it yet? If not, we're still available. Have you thought about this option? Here's some things that you can do. Here's a great way that you can fix up your home so that you can sell for top dollar. So even we were at a lot of value in those emails where they really didn't need us, but the only reason why they would need us is because we gave them so much information, and it showed that we were experts in what we were doing.
Okay. Total transparency. That might be the first time we ever talked about that process.
Yeah. We do so many different things when it comes to real estate that sometimes we overlook that we do it. But yeah.
I have done it.
Did we do this during COVID? I felt like we did this during COVID. We did this during COVID.
It was before COVID.
No, we were the only ones in the office. I'm sure, and I feel like Amir was in the office too. I feel like kids were being homeschooled.
Going to the leagues we got.
We did this during COVID.
I mean, COVID did last forever.
For 2 years, over? It's still no, it's not. So, is wholesaling a good way to make money? Absolutely. It's good ways to get pops and spurts of money.
Yes.
So that you can have money in your account to do fix and flip deals or even buy homes. It's a good way to get some quick money.
It's a good way to get in the game. It's a good way to learn the markets.
It's a good way to get money without worrying about your credit being great.
Yes.
Without worrying about having a substantial amount of money in the bank. So it definitely gets your foot in the door for real estate.
If you wanted to start wholesaling and say you ain't got no money, you ain't got no credit, and you got time, this is what I would tell you to do. You have just a little bit of money. I would say you have to go and get the app. This is an app, the Deal Machine app, and drive for dollars.
Drive-bys.
That's not drive-bys. It's driving for dollars. And I would ride around in every vacant house I see, every house I see that got grass grown up, I would take a picture of it and send a postcard. Or I would take a picture of it and go back and skip trace it.
And use Spokio or
the
yellow pages to get one-offs and really drill in.
And just keep working it that way. Don't try to make it a huge business. If that's what you need some money, because you can find a vacant house or you can find a house where the weeds have grown up, and you can find somebody who just don't care about the house and really make a good come up. You're only one deal away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about it. Only one deal of changing your life. And we're not telling you what we've heard. We made $20,000 on wholesale fees. We've seen wholesalers that made $90,000 on wholesale.
We double wholesaled where we had a wholesaler wholesale us a house, and then we made $25 giving it to an inbound.
$25?
$25,000. That's $4. 25. Like that's not worth it.
$25, bro.
That doesn't move. And we made $25,000 selling it to the end buyer.
So it can be money made in wholesaling. I know the biggest wholesaler that I know of, and you want some people to go research who does wholesaling, Max Maxwell. is a big time wholesaler. Check him out on YouTube. Brent Daniels is a big time wholesaler. Check him out on YouTube.
I think those are two really good, solid people that give a lot of value and information from a
Flip
wholesale.
Man.
Definitely
Flip Man.
yes.
Check him out on YouTube. He in Birmingham. If wholesaling is something you're interested in, those are, I don't have a personal relationship with any of them. I know them. I've watched their content. I ain't gonna watch all of it, but I've looked at some of it. They got good content. I went to a pop up with Max Maxwell before. I met him in person. Flip Man spoke at a conference I was at. Brent Daniels is in partnership with Pace and Jamil. We kind of do business with them. So
and our new coach.
And Tom Crow, our new host, our new coaching coach is Tom Crow, and he taught Brent Daniels. So if you're looking to get into wholesaling, those are guys that I would gravitate to, and I would follow their systems and what they're saying.
Okay. All right, we're doing too much talking. Where's your questions?
I mean, it's time to roll. We 20 minutes past my time.
You don't feel tipsy, you feel good.
I don't feel nothing.
You better not feel nothing. Otherwise, it's stale.
That's why we got problems. I feel something cranberry.
Right, cran apple. Cran apple is my favorite cranberry. There's so many, but cran apple is my favorite.
All right. You want to give an REI Live shout out?
Absolutely.
What we talking about next week?
It's not a shout out. So, if you haven't marked your calendars for REI Live Birmingham next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we are going to have the infamous Nicole Ambrose. She is coming to speak to REI Live. Let me put the flyer up for you guys. She is coming to speak to REI Live and give you guys the game. She is one of the 1%ers when it comes to real estate. When it comes to real estate agents in the country, she's in the top 1%, and she is going to show you how she got to be 1% and how she's been able to maximize leads to really take her game to the next level. Nicole invests. She buys multi-unit. She buys single family. She fixes and flips, and she's really amazing. She's going to give away something really special to everyone who's in the audience. So make sure you're there. Make sure your face is in the place. I promise you, you do not want to miss Nicole.
She's coming all the way from Atlanta, Georgia.
She's coming from all the way. She's coming from Atlanta. And the last event I saw her speak at, just know that I told her this, I wanted to pause her so I can go back and jot down what she said because it was so good and I couldn't even get it fast enough. So make sure you check her out. She'll be there and she's amazing. All right, I see a question. Can you read that?
Is there such thing as half sale? Is that what I say?
JC, is that what you said?
Her phone got crashed, JC, so it ain't what you wrote.
Don't tell everybody about my phone.
We're going to upgrade tomorrow, though.
I dropped it. Listen, you said tomorrow's an off day. I'm not doing it tomorrow. A half sale, yes.
You're not upgrading the phone tomorrow?
No.
Okay, no problem.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, I thought so.
We'll talk about it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I don't know what a half sale is, JC.
No, I've never heard of it. She's typing. Where have you had a half sale from?
I heard of a half sale.
I said have a half sale.
I don't know what you said.
You think I had some wine? I'm talking all gibberish.
What are we talking about tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday. What's Monday?
Let's find out. Because I don't know.
My phone dead.
Dead? I'm afraid to go on.
You don't remember?
Obviously, if I said this by that.
Yeah, I'm dead. Does anybody know what we're talking about tomorrow? You talking about wholesale?
You're so smart, JC.
Nah, I ain't no half sale, JC.
You are so smart. All right, let's see.
Let's see what we're talking about tomorrow.
Let's see what tomorrow could be.
Is it rehabs?
I feel like tomorrow's definitely rehabs. Yep, tomorrow's rehabs.
I just put it out there. I don't even know. It just felt like a rehabs.
Yep, tomorrow's rehabs. So we can dig deeper into rehabs if you guys are interested in rehabbing, which most people are, because flipping is so sexy until you get hit with taxes.
Hater.
I'm just saying, y'all, flipping is sexy. You make a lot of money. You make more money than you probably do going to work, honestly.
Facts.
So definitely.
All right, let's get up out of here.
Let's get up out of here. Have a wonderful week. I hope your week is amazing. Make sure you take some time for yourself this week. Make sure you are productive. You get some deals done, and stop waiting on the sideline and get into the game.
In the game.
All right. We love you guys. Have a great, excellent day.
Peace.